Do you know what the New Testament lineage says about Abraham? It says, Jesus, I am your father. Matthew 1, verse 1. You know, sometimes when I read that verse, I swear it whispers to me like Abraham is looking at Jesus and saying, the force is strong in you, young Skywalker. No? You don't get it? Not seeing the connection? Anyways, I thought it was a hilarious parallel. Like, which came first? You not knowing who Luke's father was in Star Wars, or not knowing who Jesus' actual father in the Bible was? What's that? I'm wrong? Blasphemy? I'm a false preacher, you say? No. Actually, it's you. You're the one living in a false reality, programmed to follow a story you never actually read for yourself. So, allow me to read it for you. Matthew chapter 1, verse 1. The book of the generation of Jesus Christ, the son of David, the son of Abraham. It's right there. Line 1. The very first verse of your New Testament. Like, seriously. How in the world do people claim they've read the Bible, open the very first book, the very first verse, and just casually say, that's nothing? Like, I mean, if you actually read it for yourself, there should have been a record scratch moment. Your tea should have spilled on your Sunday best. Wait, what? Abraham? Jesus, son of David, son of Abraham? You should have immediately said, what is this? What did I miss? And you should have asked the questions. That should have made you pause everything. But here's my theory. You never read it. You think you did. But really, the preacher man told you the narrative. So now you convinced yourself you know the Bible through the lens of a third party. But let me ask you, is that knowing? Or is it just being a sheep when you were always meant to be the shepherd? It's okay. We all start somewhere. But the journey can't begin without self-acknowledging the lie. I'm not suggesting I'm perfect or anyone is. At most of the time, though, that lie is the one we tell ourselves. So, let me get right to it. I am ThePiWithin. And I'm making this video to issue a challenge. A direct challenge to every biblical scholar, theologian, preacher, and pastor who claims to know the word. I've heard it everywhere. Online forums, church circles, friendly debates. No matter how deep the conversation gets, they always fall back to the same line. Well, all the biblical scholars across the world disagrees with you, so you must be wrong. And that's why I'm here. Not to argue, but to challenge. I know who I am. Let's see if you could figure it out. I'm here to fulfill the prophecy. I'm here to reveal the code. The challenge is this. To all the biblical scholars, I'm inviting you to a biblical game of chess. That's right. Chess. The board, the Bible. The pieces, your scriptures you claim are divine. Your position, obvious one, that you believe Jesus was a literal man, born of a virgin, walked this earth, and died on a Roman cross. My position, that Jesus was never a literal man, but a symbolic representation of something far greater, a process, a transformation, a divine current of energy encoded in riddles, buried beneath the page and hidden from the world until now. I'm not here to debate opinions. I'm not here for emotional reactions. I came to expose, move by move, verse by verse, until checkmate is undeniable. And the prize? Well, for you, it's to protect the system, to defend the church, to uphold the doctrines that says God only exists inside the name Christianity, as authored, edited, and approved by religious institutions. But I represent the collective body of humanity. I come to unite, not to divide. I come to reveal that the Word exists in all, that the power you seek was never locked in a name, but encoded in your own design of the human anatomy. I came to reveal the real Antichrist, the one rooted in religion, not rebellion. And my first move on the board? I've already made it. Matthew 1 verse 1, the book of the generation of Jesus Christ, the son of David, the son of Abraham. This is my pawn to d4, the first strike in a queen's gambit. You thought I was playing checkers, but I've been building this board since Genesis. Now I already know what most of you are going to say. Well, it's not literal. Abraham isn't really his father. It's symbolic. Aha! There it is. Say it again. It's symbolism. That's right. The very thing your teachers told you to run from. The very lens they told you never to use. The very language Jesus himself spoke in the Bible every time he opened his mouth to the crowd. Oh, and for all the people yelling through their screens right now saying, nah, this guy got it twisted. He doesn't know what he's talking about. Jesus wasn't the son of Abraham. God was his father. Okay, cool. Let's run with that. Let's unravel that thread. Because just so you know, if that's the version of the story you're going to go with, you just trashed the covenant of the Old Testament. You just broke the entire setup for the Messiah. You see, no Abraham, then no lineage. No lineage, then no prophecy. No prophecy, then what's the point of your New Testament? So just say you never read the Bible then, if you're going to take that position. Because if Jesus didn't come from Abraham's seed, then congratulations. You just threw your whole Bible out the window. So like I said, pawn to d4, your move. Also, let's just go there a little bit further. If you're going to play that hypocrite game and say God himself planted his seed into Mary the Virgin, then I need you to produce the science. You know what science is, right? Men can't have babies. Women can't create without the seed of a man. And don't say it's a mystery. You don't get to preach biology when it fits your doctrine and then throw it out when it breaks your story. That's called being a hypocrite. And while you're at it, do me a favor. Define God for me. Because in that theory, you're suggesting God is a man working with an anatomy and a divine phallus. Sounds familiar? Let me tell you a myth really quick. A Greek myth. You ever heard of Perseus? He was the son of Zeus and Danae, a mortal princess. See, the myth goes like this. Zeus sent a golden light down into Danae's locked chamber. Wink, wink. And bam! Divine son born of a virgin. Jesus. Zeus, God. Danae, the mortal woman. Mary, the virgin. Same story, different names. This is the remix, volume 5. So yeah, pawn to d4. Make your move. And let's read that verse one more time, now that the smoke's cleared. The book of the generation of Jesus Christ, the son of David, the son of Abraham, not the son of God, not the only begotten from the sky, the son of Abraham. Now let's ask a deeper question. Why? Why does the Bible emphasize Jesus son of David, son of Abraham. Why? Because it's a riddle. Because the New Testament is an inversion of the Old Testament. See? Israel, son of Isaac, son of Abraham. Now Jesus, son of David, son of Abraham. Pause here. Let that hit for a second. Because that should have been a major light bulb moment for you. Because Jacob became Israel after climbing a ladder. Just like Jesus, son of Abraham, prays to the Father in heaven and is transformed into the Christ. So again, this entire story is a parable, a riddle. Most of you hear the word parable and think it's just some fancy Bible story. But let's call it what it is, a riddle. And I'm not the one saying that. Your own scripture says it. Judges 14, verse 12. Let me now put forth a riddle unto you. Matthew chapter 13, verse 34. Jesus spoke to the crowd only in parables. Ezekiel 17, verse 2. Son of man, put forth a riddle and speak a parable unto the house of Israel. So if even Jesus only spoke in code, why would you assume the rest of the book is straightforward? Because let me tell you, this entire book is one giant riddle, an esoteric maze. Just when you think it's not speaking in a riddle, it's speaking in a riddle. Unless you were trained not to solve it. You were trained to worship it and not understand it. And that's just my first move. So, in the next episode, I'm going to go further and explain and provide biblical evidence of why Abraham and why Matthew 1 destroys the only begotten son narrative. So the invitation is here. The challenge has been issued. Biblical scholars of the world, are you up for the challenge? Can you crack the code? Can you read the riddles? And to all the viewers, if you're ready to go deeper into the symbolism, if you're tired of the telephone games, and that you're done playing the talking parrot for the beast system, then like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. I invite you to join along in the journey, because this is just the beginning. I have many more things to decode in this biblical matrix. In the meantime, you can also click the link right here to check out my other video, decoding Jesus' first miracle of turning water into wine, or rather, the transformation of water to blood within the human anatomy. And for the others who don't believe me, or still say I'm false prophet, a false teacher, that I'm a liar, all these things, send the video to your pastor. Send your video to the biblical scholars. Tell them I issue the challenge. Tell them to come to the table. In the meantime, I'll catch you in the next video. I am ThePiWithin, and this is Perspective is Everything.